I remember when I was starting my first business, I had an idea and just hunkered down and started doing absolutely everything. Everything I could think of, every and anything that I read about, that I learned or popped into my little head. And I was exhausted. Hi entrepreneurs, I'm Vicky Brown, and you're in the right place if you want to engage your team, boost your business, and grow your leadership muscle. You know, at the start of Idomeneo, I was building the product, setting up quality control systems, looking for tech that would help me scale the business, and creating org charts for my future team. No, really, I created a 20-page org chart for a 500-person company. And at the time, I didn't have any employees at all. Now, there's nothing wrong with doing those things, and they're important, but at the right time. I overloaded myself with to-dos that weren't the right to-dos at that particular stage of my business. And as a result, I felt burnt out and overwhelmed. In today's episode, I'm going to walk you through the 5 stages most all businesses grow through and show you the big picture focus for each of those stages. It'll help you focus on the right thing at the right time and keep you out of overwhelm. Stage 1 is the seed stage. During the seed stage, it's all just an idea. Your focus should be on figuring out what is your product or service, what market will you serve, otherwise known as who's going to buy what you're selling, and how are you going to provide the thing. If you're a service business, then the service is probably built around your area of expertise. If you're a product business, you have to figure out how you'll get either your hands on the product or make it yourself so you can sell it. During this stage, you also might be doing a fair amount of market research, getting feedback from your target market, and looking at the competitive landscape as well. At this point, you may have one or no customers, so cash is at a premium, and you may still be heavily relying on invested money, either yours or someone else's. This stage should be just as long as it needs to be, but no longer. After all, you need to get on with getting customers and growing the business. The next stage is the startup stage. By the startup stage, you already have a fairly well-defined product or service, so now it's time to turn your focus to getting the thing out there. There are a few chapters in the startup stage. First, you have a few customers and you're focused on marketing. Usually at this stage, it's a lot of on and offline networking, making yourself known by going to meet and greets, and doing the same thing on social by joining groups and engaging with the members and answering questions. But your marketing efforts might also be more robust, things like online ads or direct mail campaigns. Also, during the startup stage, you'll begin to grow your customer base. Now, listen carefully to their feedback and tweak your offering accordingly. Product improvement should always be part of every stage. As you start showing reasonable and consistent growth, then your focus shifts to improving the product delivery and making things run more smoothly. The latter part of the startup stage is where most solopreneurs become entrepreneurs and start hiring a team. Because once your product or service is out there, you have a few clients, the various pieces of the business become more and more time consuming. You spend more time delivering the product or service, customer service is more involved, billing takes longer, the business just becomes more complex, and you'll need help. The next stage is the growth stage. The hallmark of the growth stage is that the business is now stabilizing and generating consistent income. Now, client flow is good, you've done a reasonably good job of nailing down your prospecting and sales process, and cash flow has leveled out. Historically, this is the stage where your growth into a full leadership role happens. You have a team, and by necessity, communication and holder of the vision become a larger part of your job description. You are the one that tells everyone where they're going and make sure they keep rowing in the right direction. Now we begin to talk about scaling the business. During the scale stage, you and your team are focused on developing or creating systems and processes that will allow you to service more customers, meaning make more money, without incurring larger expenses on the back end. In English, scaling equals more profit. You might also begin to think about offering more products or services or expanding your geographic footprint. As you might guess, the scaling stage is super exciting and feels like there are limitless possibilities for the business. And then there is the maturity stage. During this stage, you have stable year-over-year profits. Perhaps you became the market leader. Growth is steady and dependable. The maturity stage can be tricky. It's easy to sit back and kind of let things float if they feel like they're going well. But at this stage, it's easy to start floating backward. You can never just sit back and let your business float along. The business should always be driving toward growth. Now you'll notice I said the business should always be driving toward growth. That's because the driver doesn't always have to be you. Once your business has reached the maturity stage, you might want to personally step back a bit and give your life a bit more breathing room. After all, you will have earned it. But that's where the value of a great team shows up, because you've selected and grown the right people and given them the opportunity to operate in their genius zone. You have the flexibility now to design your role in any way that works for you. For me, that means expanding into Leader's Journey. But for you, that might mean a 3-day work week or a 1-day work week for that matter. Again, it's all up to you. If you found this information helpful, please subscribe and share. And remember, your inspired leadership is the secret sauce to having a high-performance team and a wildly successful business you'll love. I'll see you next time on Leader's Journey. You had a vision and started a business, and now you're totally overwhelmed. There's just too much to do all the time. The business isn't growing as fast as you would like, and you're beginning to have doubts that you have what it takes to build the business you imagined. In my new book, Sing with Your Opera Voice, I'll share my journey from solopreneur to 7-figure serial entrepreneur and guide you up and out of the chaos. It launches on Amazon on October 16th. Get more details at singwithyouroperavoice.com.